Hi bestie, welcome back to Cozy Colouring Sundays. I'm so glad you're here because today we're diving into this super cute cozy bookshop colouring page from Coco Wyo's Girl Moments colouring book, and this is the page that you all voted for us to start with. And if you're new here, I'm Tulip. This is a cozy colouring space where we get together every week and just grab our markers, get comfy and just unwind together. In the last proper session that I did, we did this gorgeous autumn page from Bobby Good's Fall Winter colouring book, and I kind of just wanted to carry on those cozy fall vibes, and I thought that this would be the perfect page to do that with. So I'm just gonna grab our little protective paper. I think the best way to put it might be, it's quite a small page actually. I'm just gonna put it from the top since that's where we'll be starting, and then I'll move it down as we work our way down the page. And then I've also got my little Ohuhu markers set here. I tried to pick out a few from the 216 set. So we're going to start with the leaves on the corners, and I really just want it to feel like a cozy day out book shopping, and also like a bookshop that's also a flower shop all in one, and it's got like little tulips, which I thought was just perfect. So we're going to start with the little bushes up here. I'm going to make them very autumnal, so I'm just grabbing some orangey brown shades for us to start with. Okay, so these are the colours we're starting with. We've got deep orange, which is E490, chrome orange YR170, and cadmium orange, which is YR190. And we're going to just do this as the base and then slowly layer on some deeper colours. And for today's question of the video, I'm curious to know what your favourite book at the moment is. I did set myself a little goal at the start of the year to try and read some more books, but I honestly haven't gotten around to doing too much reading. So I'm not really sure what my favourite book at the moment is, but I'll try and have a little think if I can think of anything I last read that I really enjoyed or wanted to read more of, but I honestly can't remember. Oh, I think I really liked Firefly Lane. Yeah, I think that was my most recent read that I really enjoyed. I'm leaving a little gap here because I realised I do want to do like a little yellow light glow, and I haven't really thought about doing my highlights. I could always do them afterwards, but sometimes it's nice to blend the colours in together. And then we'll just do the same on this side. Okay, and then we're gonna grab lemon yellow, so that's Y6, and I'm just gonna do it around the edge of this bush here. And don't worry, we'll blend it in with another colour to just make it look a little bit more seamless. Okay, and then back to those colours that we'd grabbed earlier. Oop, nearly dropped it. We're gonna do Chrome Orange, which is YR170. And I'm just finding the brush side. I'm hoping that this blends. Okay, so a little bit, not a lot. To be fair, I'm just gonna do it all the way out to the edge. Yeah, it just makes our little bush look a lot more autumnal. I hope my protective sheet is protecting. Okay, perfect. I wish there was like a better solution to like preventing the markers from going through at the back, because I was worried that my sheet at the back is like slipping and sliding around. And I think I've decided I am gonna just go over this at the end with like a yellow acrylic marker, just to help that yellow stand out more, because the orange is eating it up a little bit. Fab. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with cadmium orange YR190, and with this page I'm gonna try and keep it simple where I can, but I just thought it would be nice to add just a little bit of texture, so I'm just doing little dots all over in the bush, and then also on this side. And then just so we have a little bit of depth going on, I'm also gonna grab the brownie colour that we've mapped out here. Maybe I should just remove this. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up mixing and matching colours anyway. I'll put this away. Yeah, so I've grabbed YR5, which is terracotta, and mainly focusing on the back of the bush, just to get some more depth going on in there. But yeah, recently I was just thinking, I can't believe how soon it's gonna be like Christmas time, and it's honestly my favourite time of the year. So I really just, I'm so excited, especially for all like the cozy Christmassy pages with like snow. I love colouring like snowy pages. So I'm really looking forward to getting more sessions like that out for you guys. Okay, so I'm all done with, I'm trying to think, actually let's do the window glow with the yellows, or I'm debating getting a little head start on our character. Maybe let's do the character. Yeah, I probably should have started with her to be fair. Okay, so for the little character, I thought we'll match her hair to the bushes, so we're gonna give her like red hair, like gingery hair, and we're gonna use eggshell white, which is E090 for the skin. And just make sure our little page at the back is fine. And wait for that to dry a bit before I add any extra depth to it. But for her hair, I think let's just do similar to what we did up here. We'll start with deep orange as the base. And I'll leave a little edge at the back for like the glow that's coming from the window. And then hopefully this works out okay. We're gonna do lemon yellow right on the edge here. That's closest to the light coming from the bookshop. And then we're gonna do chrome orange, like we did it up in the bush. And I'm hoping this blends out okay. Yeah, I'd say that's looking pretty good. And then for a little bit more depth, we'll do cadmium orange. But I'm thinking let's just do it in strokes. And lastly, we'll do terracotta, literally the exact same colors we used up here. And with the terracotta, we'll just do it mainly where it's a bit more shadowed, like down behind her ear here and close to her book here. I think other than that, we probably don't need to make that look any darker than that. I think that looks pretty good. And in terms of adding some more warmth to her, for some reason I'm thinking doing deep orange, but this could be a mistake, guys. But we're gonna try it. I'm literally just framing her face very gently. And also just going between her fingers and the lower part of her hand. And then we're going to blend that out with eggshell white again. I'm hoping this is a smart idea, but we never know. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll see if that was a good idea or not. Up next, I thought let's do her little jumper. I was thinking of doing like a pastel peach color. So this is R18, and I want to give her like a navy stripe sort of like jumper going on, and some blue jeans, and then some cute little brown shoes. So I'm gonna just lay this down. I was trying to go for like a very creamy color. Yeah, I think that looks perfect. And then for her jumper and jean stripes, we're gonna do marine blue, which is PB11. And I don't know whether to use the fine liner side. We're gonna start with that. And let's start doing, I hope I do this right. Let's start doing a strip across. Just keep going, I guess. we'll stop there with that. I hope that looks cute. I might make it like thicker lines, so I'm just gonna color in between some of the strips. Okay. I think that's fine. And then we'll do her jeans. The same color. And then for her bag, we're gonna do it pink. So I've got RV260. Okay, so that's our base. And then just to make it a little bit more fun, I'm also grabbing apricot pink, which is RV320. And I'm just gonna add like a stripe kind of pattern to it. So I'm just gonna do my lines going down. And I think that looks super cute. I'm still gonna leave that. I don't know if I should do the handle as well. Ooh, and also we'll use pastel rose, which is R9, and we'll do her little cheeks, like a little blushing. Oh, so sweet. That looks really cute. I'm so happy with that. Fab. And then for her shoes, I just thought we'll do terracotta, so that brownie color that we picked out. Just give her like some cute little brown shoes. And for her book, I will leave that for now, and then we'll see what makes sense to do. For the flowers that she's got, I think I'll lean into like a pinky orange kind of vibe. So I'm gonna start with this light orange, which is YR070. And I kind of just want the tops to be that kind of shade. And then blending that into chrome orange. And by the way, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I've who changed their color codes, because I saw a new collaboration that they did with Bobby Goods, and the colors seem to be called different things, but I know I recognize some of the color codes as a set that I have, pastel rose, but the names just seem different. I don't know if I'm missing something or... because I haven't bought new markers in a while. These have lasted me quite a long time. And then we'll do apricot pink. And I think for the ones across, I'll probably just try and lean more into the pinkiness of it. So I'm going to start with our V260 pink and just do that all over. And same for the ones on the ground here. And then I'm grabbing that pastel rose and apricot pink, and I'm just gonna blend upwards. And then just do that in the center of these ones. And then grabbing apricot pink, I'm just gonna deepen that center color on these ones. And also on these ones. I think that looks stun. And then I'm just gonna lean into some more yellowness and probably do the light in the background. So for my yellows, I've got these two. I've got barium yellow, which is Y3, and lemon yellow, which is Y6. And starting with the lightest, which is barium yellow, I'm just gonna do the insides of these flowers up here. And here as well. Okay, I think that's cute. And then carrying on with that same color, let's do the light that's coming through from these spaces up here. I'm just gonna do this one on the edge for now. I think the color I grabbed is quite a warm yellow. I might grab lemon chiffon quickly since it's quite a lighter yellow. Okay, so I've got lemon chiffon and I'm just putting that in the center. And I will blend everything outwards. I just wanted it to be a lighter glow. And then I'm grabbing that barium yellow again and just blending. Oh, I don't think I had grabbed barium yellow in the first place. I think I'd grabbed the darker yellow. That explains why. I was thinking it looked a bit too harsh, but I think this has actually worked out well. And then doing the reverse, I'm gonna start with lemon chiffon for this shelf here. And then layer in barium yellow. And lastly, lemon yellow around the edge. I'm just emphasizing this right here. And just blending that out with barium yellow. And then I'll probably start with barium yellow down here. And then grabbing lemon chiffon right in the very center. And just blending that into barium yellow. And lastly, we've got lemon yellow again on the very edges. Okay, and just blending all that out with barium yellow so it doesn't look as harsh. I'm really happy with that. I will let you know if I want to go any darker, but I think for now that looks really great. We'll start adding some bones to the actual bookshop itself. I was thinking of doing like very purple kind of like door, so I'm gonna grab lavender, which is P4, and I think I'll also grab, let me just have a look. I might do vivid purple instead. I do think lavender could be too much of a cool tone purple, but I could keep it for shadows. I might grab vivid purple instead, so we'll do this purple instead of this one. I just wasn't sure what would make more sense with the scene, but I think this is a bit more warm, so I'm just going to grab P1, if I can see where it is. I think I found it. Okay, so we've got vivid purple, and I'm going to use that around the edge of the bookshop. Oh, I forgot, I need to do, well, I don't have to, but I did think of doing this in the glow, but maybe it might make more sense as purple actually. So anyways, let me just add this down. So it's got like a pinky purple tone to it. Very vivid colour. But I think it contrasts really nicely against the orange. And then for this area, I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit. Okay, I think that's looking good. I'm gonna have a think if I want all the lines around the shop to also be purple, or if I don't know yet. I might make it all purple actually. I think that could be quite a good idea. I'm just gonna pause there, and for this space and up here, I know I wanted that pink, so let me just do that area first. So I'm grabbing the shade pink RV260, and I might also work some pastel rose in there somehow, but for now I'm just going to try that. Oh, I should move this up here a bit. just to make it a little bit more fun, I'm gonna grab pastel rose and sort of do that along the edge of this. And then blend the pink into that. Okay, I think that looks cute. If I really wanted to, I might add apricot pink as well, just to really commit. But just along the super edge. And blend that out with pastel rose. Okay, I think that's cute. And then for the letters, I wanted to do yellow. So I think I'm just gonna do barium yellow, the mid yellow color. So that's Y3. And then we'll see if I can do like a bit of a shadow or anything like that. I think that's cute. And then I'm going to use the fine liner side of lemon yellow, just this thin side, and then just go along this edge of each letter. Okay, and that adds a little subtle shadow. Okay, then that's looking very cute. We'll carry on with the purple along the rest of the building that we've got. But I do want to add some greenery first, and then just to make sure everything feels balanced on the page. I just don't want anything to look out of place. So I've got 3 greens that I'd picked out, and I've got, let's see. So from here, I've got G6, which is this dusty jade green. I also have G2, which is more of a vivid green. And I have G1, which is an emerald green. Just from looking at the image, I'm assuming my best bet could be the vivid and emerald green. So I'm going to just drop the jade green for now, but that could work elsewhere. So starting with vivid green G2. Let me just move this down. I might just turn it over so that we've got a fresh sheet. We'll do, oh, that is a very dark green. Okay, let me grab G3 first. Okay, so apparently ocean green should be a bit lighter. It's still quite dark. I'm debating going a touch more lighter as well, but let's just do this one for now. we've got a gorgeous contrast though. So going in now with G2, I think we'll go along the middle of the plant. Yeah, that actually works. And then we'll go even darker with G1, which is emerald green. And to make things even lighter, I am gonna grab either a horseradish or, to be fair, May green is calling my name. Let's see. It's a very bright green, but we'll see. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? So I'll do it for the tulips. As you can see, very bright green. But I think it adds something to it, so let's go with that. And I'll do the same for these ones. And then we'll bring the depth back in with, let's do G3. And I'm just doing like a shaded side. That looks like enough to me, to be honest. And then going back in with that bright May green, we'll do this little plant here. And then we'll do ocean green again, but this time we're just going to do little speckles inside this one. And also with that emerald green colour, so that strong G1. And I quite like how that all looks together, so I'm just going to use very lightly. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks really good. I'm happy with that. And I am thinking let's just carry that purple on across the shelving And then I'll try and bring some brown back again with a few of the little pots that we've got. Some like orangey brown, yeah. Okay, so now that's done. Let's do some orangey brown. So I've got these 3 colours, and I'm literally thinking, kind of like how we did with the bushes, to do deep orange, then chrome orange, then terracotta. And I think I'll do it for this pot here, because I'm so tempted, but I think this could be like a really pretty pattern, but I do think it might work out better being brown. Or actually, let me carry on. So do this in that deep orange browny colour. And maybe we'll also do this one. And we'll add chrome orange on top, and then maybe I won't do terracotta on top of those ones. We'll just keep them like orangey brown. Okay, for now, let's stop there, but we're gonna carry on with the wall and then see how we can balance things. So back to the wall, we've got P1 Vivid Purple, and we've decided that this is all gonna be that shade. No, back to this crossroad. Okay. I think I'll do that pinky shade I did before, and I might just do this that yellowy tone instead of doing it purple, but I honestly don't know, guys. This is hard. Decisions. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pinks so I don't have to think about that. I think that's what I end up doing with my pages. I kind of just ignore the parts I'm not sure about and just try and make sense of everything else first. Okay, so we're starting with pink, so RV260, and I'm just going to do that all over. Oh, I need to move my page into the corner. And then we're using Pastel Rose, and I'm just gonna blend that from about here. And then we're using Apricot Pink on the very outside. And I'm going to blend all that together. Okay, I think that's looking really nice. And then my question is, do I do that same pinky vibe behind here, or do I make that deep purple? I'm thinking making it purple and then making this part yellow, so because I do think we've got a really nice pinkiness going, and I can always just make some tablecloths and some other bits more pinky. I think one place we can make pinky is that little bunting that's hanging. I think let's start with the normal pink as we do. And then we can do apricot pink, but the fine liner side, so this bit, and kind of match what we did here with some stripes. Okay, I think that's balancing things out for now. Up next, maybe let's do the books next, just to get some differentiation going. So with the books, I really wanted to do like green, dusty, purple, and like a peachy color. So I wanted to do these three colors. So I've got dusty jade green, G6, pale lilac, which is V020, and light orange, which is YR070. So we're gonna start with our dusty jade green, and I'm kind of just gonna alternate, to be honest, between book colors. So starting with, but I'm trying to think, is that the best? Yeah, let's, no, maybe let's do that third book down. And then on that top shelf, we'll do that light orange peachy color. So that will be our first book along. And then just keep that going. And then I'll do pale lilac as the book and the gaps. Okay, I personally quite like that, so we're just gonna carry on with that pattern going down as well. So this one would be the purple book, and then the first book would be that peachy coloured book. And then we'd have our green. And then back to our peachy colour. And that actually works out because we've got this gorgeous autumn leaf, which we'll do in a little bit. So I'll leave the leaf for now, but I notice we've also got stacks of books down here, and I'll do them the exact same color. I'm just thinking, I guess let's start with that peachy color like we did before. But I'm just thinking what color pot I'll do and then what will make sense. So maybe let's not do that for now. So back to the books. Let's just grab chrome orange and deep orange for our leaf. So deep orange. And then chrome orange on top. And then cadmium orange to do some little dots. And I think that's fine for that. And then grabbing apricot pink, we're gonna use it for this little heart on this book and this window here. And also I think it would be perfect for the sticker and heart. There we go. And then for the book on that main cover, I think let's do pink. So RV260. Yeah, and that's perfect. Okay, and then carrying on, let's do pink again for, maybe not pink, let's do pale lilac. Yeah, let's do pale lilac for this little flower pot here. And then let's do dusty green as the bow. I think that could make some sense. Yeah, I think this is coming along quite nicely. And I think the smart thing to do probably just to do that pot orangey brown again, and then do this pink and pink. So again, we'll grab normal pink. And then using apricot, we'll do the hearts. And then using maybe let's do light orange. We'll just do a bit of shading down that way. And I might just put pastel rose on top of that just to make it more pinky hue. Yeah, I think that's gorge. Blend that out with our pink color. Okay, love that. And then for the legs of the table, we'll definitely just do that terracotta brown. And same with the sign stand. I'll do that terracotta. And for our books that we've got on the ground, let's do light orange. I don't know. Okay, let's do dusty jade first. Yeah. Or in the middle. Yeah, let's do dusty jade in the middle, since that contrasts better against the pink flower pot. And then we'll do light orange first. And then we'll do pale lilac at the very bottom. Okay, I think that's fine. And then I'm gonna go back in with vivid pink again. Not vivid pink, sorry, vivid purple, P1. And just do the, I'm not sure if this is meant to be green in the background, but I might come back and make that green, because it doesn't seem like the shelf carries on behind there. And that's looking really nice. I just need to think of like what color will look the best with that, and I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think maybe let's do this plant pot, and I think orange is probably the best bet to do for that plant pot. So I'm going to start with chrome orange again and just do that all over. I think that's the colour that's missing the most from this palette. and probably would just do the same here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then to really take it home, let's do cadmium orange on the very top part, and then alternating. Yeah, I think that looks gorgeous, and I'll just do around these little dots. Perfect. I kind of want to do cadmium orange over this little pot here. Just get more of an orange vibe going, and then same with this one. And then for the little bell we've got there, I'm just going to do chrome orange, but I might make that more of like a brownie colour. But for now I think chrome orange works. And I can always do terracotta. Yeah, let's do terracotta. And then round like that, and then blend that in with deep orange a little bit, just to make it less harsh. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. And then I am going to add yellow again down here so it looks like it's glowing through. Let me just put these markers back. So for our yellow, I'm just grabbing those 3 yellows that we had before. So we had lemon, chiffon, barium yellow, and lemon yellow. So I'm going to start with barium yellow and then do lemon chiffon in the middle, and then lemon yellow around the outside. Yeah, I think that feels right. And then we'll do lemon yellow in the very center part. I don't know if you can see some of the colours from behind, so I'm just gonna rotate. Oh no, I accidentally got some colours here. And then back again with barium yellow, just to make that an even smoother transition. And then going in with lemon yellow. And then back again with barium yellow for one last final blend. Okay, and probably lemon chiffon, just to, sorry if you can hear people moving furniture. Yeah, I think that looks gorgeous. Our last little bit is just doing this little board and finalizing our floor. Oh, also the book in our hands, I didn't even think about that. I think the right color is gonna be cadmium orange, to be fair, or like emerald green, but I think orange, that will contrast with her outfit better. So I'm just gonna grab cadmium orange and make that the color of the book that she is holding. think that works perfectly. For the ground, I'm thinking of going back to some of that pastel peach I'd grabbed before, see what we can do with that. And for the board, I don't know if I should leave it white, but we do have eggshell white, so maybe let's make it eggshell whitey so it doesn't look so stark. Or maybe just, oh, okay, eggshell white is a bit darker than I was expecting. We can just use it to create a little border around. Yeah, I think that's fine. And let's use apricot pink for that one book, one flower sign. And then for the ground, I am leaning towards doing pastel peach, and we'll just do it like a very peachy speckled ground. I think that seems to work for me, because I feel like everything else is so vibrant on the page. This doesn't need to be. And to create the little speckles, let's do deep orange and terracotta. So with deep orange, I'm mainly just doing it around where I want there to be very clear shadowing. And spreading it out a little bit. And then just to really further emphasize that, I'm using terracotta over the areas where I really want it to stand out as being in the shade. Okay, I think that looks gorge. Might just add a bit more near this little planter. And then for the little open store sign, I think let's go pale lilac. Absolutely stunning. I think that looks gorge. I'm gonna grab my white pen. This one. This is the Jelly Roll 8, and this is probably my favorite fine liner pen that I have. And I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna add some small highlights to some areas, and I did want to make it look like it was a bit sparkly where the books are, but I don't think the yellow I used is super dark for that to show up properly. I think you can see it a little bit, but just in the corners. Yeah, I think that will do. Just a little bit of shimmer. And then along some of the planty bits. I think that is probably enough just to give it a bit of 3D-ness to some areas. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with where I've added it. Yeah, I think that's looking good. And then the only other thing I just wanted to add was a bit of a yellow glow. So I'm using the Arctic's T112 acrylic marker, and I just wanted to mainly do it in the bushy part here. Just to emphasize the glow coming from the store sign. Not the store sign, you know what I mean, from the door and windows. Okay, I won't go too extreme with it. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm just gonna tidy up and then we'll close off the video. So this is our end result. Thank you so much for coloring along with me today. If you enjoyed this cozy session, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. I read every single comment and I always do my best to reply because you always leave such kind, sweet comments below, and I honestly just love our community so much. So I'm just so grateful for everyone who tunes in and watches and colors along. I'm doing my best to upload on Sundays. Hopefully I'll see you next week, and I think for next week's video we're gonna dive back into the fall winter coloring book, and we're probably gonna stay on theme with the book vibe and do this little page, so I'll see you for that. And yeah, if you want to keep the cozy colouring going, you can either rewatch some videos or catch up on our last session, which I'll leave linked somewhere on the screen for you. And I'll see you next Sunday. Bye, bestie.